Diedrich Devon Williams, who's behind bars for life for murdering rapper XXXTentacion, is now appealing his case, his conviction, his sentence on the grounds that he did not receive a fair trial. And this is in part due to what his attorneys say is the exclusion of evidence that pointed the finger or maybe pointed the finger at other people. And one of those people whose name has come up is rapper Drake.
You know the laws of power, you never outshine the master. You see what I'm saying? Like, I even had a conversation and said it to Drake.
But I wouldn't be shocked if this man right here wanted to serve Drake some humble pie. And this man being Lucien Drake, CEO.
50 Cent just threw himself into the middle of the rap game's biggest drama. He's now coming for Drake, even though just a few months ago, he was all buddy-buddy with him during the Kendrick Lamar beef. Last summer, 50 was showing major love to Drake, even pulling up in Toronto to link with him. But now, he's acting like Drake's biggest troll. It's like he's clocking in every day just to clown him online. And word on the street is, it's all tied to Drake's messy legal battle with Universal Music Group. So here's the tea. Drake recently sued UMG, accusing them of boosting Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us.
You listen to
Nigga, that's Drake. Yeah, that's Drake you got in there.
With bots and shady payola. That's right. He's claiming his own label helped push a track that came at him. But UMG isn't staying quiet. They're allegedly about to hit back hard. Like, dig up everything. They've got kinda hard. Insiders are saying UMG's been keeping tabs on Drake for a minute now, and they've got receipts on both him and the OVO crew. Folks are whispering that Drake's bosses are sitting on a vault full of dirt, just waiting for the right moment to drop it all. And don't forget, Kendrick called this out way before it popped off. Remember when he said, "The embassy about to get raided too"? Now people are convinced he was dropping hints about some Diddy-type drama happening behind closed doors at OVO. With Drake turning on his own label, insiders are saying UMG might go full savage and hit him with that same Diddy-style takedown. No mercy. And when it comes to diving into this kind of mess, nobody does it like 50 Cent. He's already tossing shady shots at Drake online, so let's get straight into what he's been saying. Here's the backstory. Last July, right when things were heating up between Drake and Kendrick, 50 jumped into the fire and posted a pic of himself chilling with Drake in Toronto.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
Show me something.
4 hours.
Listening to music.
No, I listen to music right now. What you listening to?
Kendrick.
That's because you know album?
Yeah.
Can you get a pass? Get a pass, you listen to Kendrick.
Nigga, that's Drake. Yeah, that's Drake you got in there.
Well, the niggas from G-Unit didn't give him nothing. I gave him stuff.
He already got what he got for bringing the me. So how did you give me something?
But that link up didn't sit well with a lot of folks, especially on the West Coast. People felt like 50 teaming up with Drake during the Kendrick beef was a major slap in the face, especially considering 50 owes a big part of his early come-up to Dr. Dre. That move had people real salty. And then things went from messy to full-on chaos when Drake turned up the disrespect toward West Coast legends, especially Tupac. While hanging out with 50 in Toronto, Drake posted a pic of himself standing in front of a black BMW that looked just like the one Tupac was riding in when he got shot in 1996. Naturally, fans started speculating he was throwing a slick jab at Kendrick with that shady post. Drake didn't actually pose with the real car Tupac was shot in.
Person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman. Because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's kids. So if you're going to accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation, okay? Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige, but that's not even why I'm giving him Donkey of the Day. Okay, I'm giving him Donkey of the Day because Drake is proving without a shadow of a doubt that he simply doesn't understand culture.
But fans weren't buying the coincidence. Posing in front of a look-alike BMW? people saw that as straight up shady and mad disrespectful. And to make it even more controversial, 50 was right there with him when that photo went up. Even though 50's from the East Coast, he's got major roots on the West, thanks to Dr. Dre, who helped launch his whole career. So him chilling with Drake in the middle of all this West Coast beef? Yeah, it had folks scratching their heads for real. But here's where it gets wild. 50's done a full-blown 180. Now he's clowning Drake like crazy. Just recently, he dropped a behind-the-scenes clip from a trip with his G-Unit crew, including Tony Yayo. In the video, they're flying private, and 50 casually asks Yayo what he's bumping in his headphones. Yayo replies he's listening to Kendrick's new album, GNX, and that's when 50 slides in with the shade. He laughs and tells Yayo he gets a pass for playing Kendrick. Straight shot at Drake, no question. Now everyone's buzzing about why 50 suddenly flipped on Drake, and most are pointing at those legal shots Drake's been firing at UMG and Spotify. In the court docs, Drake basically accused them of teaming up to mess with streaming numbers and push Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us, to the top.
Stay scheming, Drake says. Tell Lucian I said I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Tell Lucian I said I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Did Drake call you up after that and say, hey, I need more money for my project?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up and says he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
That move had a lot of heads in the game looking sideways, including 50. Let's be real. Running to the courts over a diss track? That ain't exactly hip-hop. It gave people the vibe that Drake couldn't handle the heat, so he tried to lawyer up instead. And it's not just 50. Feels like the whole industry's turning their backs now. Folks are dragging Drake online, calling him out for filing lawsuits just because he lost a rap battle. Some are even saying this whole move proves Kendrick was right when he called Drake a colonizer. That one line hit different now. The industry's going in on Drake right now, calling him a Karen left and right. But honestly, that might be the least of his problems, because his legal attack on UMG could blow up way bigger than anyone thought. Let's not forget, UMG's had Drake's back for years. Word is they even helped cover up some serious allegations against him back in 2021. And let's talk numbers. They reportedly handed Drake a mind-blowing $500 million deal. That kind of cash is almost unheard of in the rap game. UMG's own CEO, Lucian Grange, even said that Drake could get any amount of money he asked for. That's how deep their loyalty ran. Until now.
He's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
You and Drake, that's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
But here's where it really starts getting messy. Remember that lawsuit producer Lil Rod filed against Diddy back in February? Yeah, well, that same lawsuit originally named Lucian Grange and UMG as co-defendants. Lil Rod straight up claimed that Lucian helped fund and enable Diddy's alleged criminal activity. According to the lawsuit, Mr. Jones recalls seeing defendant Grange visiting Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. According to Mr. Jones, whenever defendant Grange visited Mr. Combs at his home, it would be in the evening.
You look very nice tonight, by the way. I like curly hair, I like hair. Stand right there. Give me like 2 seconds, I'm gonna get ready for you, because I gotta be ready for you.
And he and Mr. Combs would disappear for hours in Mr. Combs' bedroom. Lil Rod didn't hold back. He accused Lucian of aiding, abetting, and even helping fund Diddy's whole operation. He called Lucian a co-conspirator, claiming he supplied massive amounts of cash that kept Diddy's dark side running. But here's the twist. In May 2024, news dropped that Lucian Grange and Universal Music Group were officially removed from the lawsuit. No surprise, though. Lucian's one of the most powerful men in the entire music industry right now. And cleaning up messes like this, that's what power buys. You already know Lucian's legal team wasn't going to let anything touch him. Just as Lucian and UMG were breathing easy after getting dropped from Lil Rod's lawsuit, Kendrick's beef with Drake hit a whole new level. And Kendrick started throwing hints that he might dig deeper and expose even more of the industry's dirty laundry. And best believe UMG was locked in, because the last thing Lucian Grange wanted was to get dragged back into drama. This time with Drake and OVO, right after dodging the Diddy mess. But now that Drake's back at it, stirring things up with those legal petitions against UMG, people are saying he's poking the wrong beast and might be setting himself up to get the full Diddy treatment. Here's the kicker. UMG had already warned Drake to back off before he filed those claims accusing them of payola. Remember back in August, when Drake randomly dropped 100 gigs of unreleased content, including some new tracks? Universal didn't waste a second. They hit him with copyright strikes so fast, 3 of those songs vanished from his site almost immediately. Remember Kendrick's brutal bars on Meet the Grams? He hinted at creepy behavior in the industry. Talking about artists using their mansions to streamline victims, leak videos, and manipulate agendas. Then he threw direct shade, saying Drake's mansion might be the next one to get raided, just like Diddy's. And Kendrick didn't stop there on Not Like Us. He pushed it even further, calling OVO a straight-up certified PD file. That line had people shook. When it came to clapping back at the accusations, Drake responded on The Heart Part 6, claiming he's too famous to be a PD file, saying if it were true, he'd already be behind bars. But let's be honest, was that even a solid defense? Everybody knows rich and powerful folks have dodged consequences for years, so that line didn't exactly shut things down. And then it got even weirder. On that same track, Drake randomly name-dropped Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown. You've probably already heard the whispers about his strange friendship with Millie, who was only 13 when she first linked up with him. That mention raised a lot of eyebrows all over again. But here's the thing. Kendrick never mentioned Millie Bobby Brown in any of his diss tracks. He didn't even hint at those rumors. So fans were thrown off when Drake randomly brought her up in his response track to Kendrick. Like, why even go there if no one said her name? And let's be real. Wasn't it a little odd that Drake offered to mentor Millie and give her dating advice, but didn't show that same energy toward the boys from Stranger Things? Why would a grown man choose to build that type of close relationship with a teenage girl he's not even related to? It would have made way more sense if he was mentoring a young male actor, especially since Drake himself started out in acting too. But nope. All the attention went straight to Millie, and for years, Drake stayed silent while people questioned their friendship. Then, on his 2023 album For All the Dogs, instead of clearing things up, he flipped it on the fans, calling them weird for even asking questions. And it doesn't stop with Millie. There's been talk for years about Drake allegedly getting too close to other young women in the industry, like Kylie Jenner and Billie Eilish. Back in 2013, when Kylie turned 16, Drake was 27, and he performed at her birthday party. There's even a photo of him kissing her on the cheek, and yeah. Folks have definitely been giving that side eye ever since. After Kendrick's diss track brought up all those shady allegations.
For everybody, all of the great, Weeknd, Pluto, Metro, Ross,
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Like, there's something obviously wrong with this one individual that no one wants to speak about. And I feel like you're the only person that's gonna really put it out there.
I say rich baby daddy, it's like Drake has a rich baby daddy.
People started connecting the dots, especially with that infamous clip of Drake on stage with a young fan. In the video, he's seen getting way too touchy, and it only got worse when she revealed her age, because Drake followed up with some real questionable comments about how she looked. It had everyone feeling uncomfortable. Now jump to 2018, and Vice dropped some serious tea. 31-year-old Drake was allegedly dating model Bella Harris, who had just turned 18. That age gap alone had people giving him the side eye. But what really raised eyebrows was the claim that Drake first met Bella during his Summer 16 tour with Future, when she was just 16 and he was 29. But it didn't stop there.
Named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien.
So all of his streams in the number ones is controlled by someone named Lucien.
Well, Lucien worked for people who control the banks in Africa.
In 2019, Billie Eilish revealed in a Vanity Fair interview that Drake, who was already 33, had been texting her regularly when she was just 17. That had folks questioning everything. It's clear this ain't just some isolated thing. Fans are starting to call it a full-blown pattern, and now comparisons are flying. Some people are even saying Drake's behavior feels a lot like how Diddy used to always be seen around young male celebs under the label of mentorship. Except in Drake's case, it's young women, and the internet isn't letting it slide anymore. Just think about all those old clips of Diddy hanging around with Usher and Justin Bieber, the ones that still have people side-eyeing to this day. Now, with Kendrick directly accusing Drake and his crew of being involved in PD file behavior, some fans are saying it's time for Drake to get hit with the same level of scrutiny that Diddy's been facing. And right when things couldn't get messier, Kanye West jumped in with a wild curveball. During his interview on the Download podcast, Ye hinted that Drake doesn't move without the green light from his so-called rich baby daddy, Lucian Grange. That jab had people buzzing. But hold up, it gets even crazier. On top of everything going down, an old blind item from 2018 has resurfaced online, and it's causing major buzz. The post claimed that Diddy and Drake were allegedly the gatekeepers of two secret rings in the industry. One said to target young male talent, and the other focused on young women. It goes on to claim that this group is dedicated to finding young male talent and then developing them.
Oh my God.
Think about
Download.
We had Black Wall Street, we had Harlem, we've been gentrified, and we ain't really been pulled together since, other than to maintain what they call the black vote, which you don't have an opinion in that vote. And then they get all these celebrities, they go on TV like, we got a problem with his political opinion. He's out of control. He's bipolar. He's anti-Semite. He's whatever they want to call somebody to try to get people to not listen or have, take away the influence.
The blind item even says that the A-list singer brought several others into that scene. Then it flips to the other group, allegedly run by a foreign-born, one-named permanent A-list singer who supposedly attracts followers who focus on finding and developing females below the age. Fans think these hints aren't so subtle anymore. They allegedly model themselves after R. Kelly and how he developed Aaliyah, trying to gain full control over these young teens, both personally and musically. Word is, they even gave their secret circle a name, LMK, after the song Let Me Know, which featured both R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Some insiders claim members even marked their shoes with LMK as a low-key sign they're part of the group. Now here's where it gets wild. Allegedly, the A-lister said to be running the young male ring is Diddy, with Usher reportedly scouting talent. As for the group targeting young women, that's where Drake's name keeps popping up. he's the foreign-born A-lister fans believe is behind that one. Sure, Lucian Grange managed to slide himself and UMG out of Lil Rod's lawsuit and even bury his longtime friendship with Diddy to keep his image clean. But now, Drake's dragged himself right back into the spotlight, and not in a good way. And word is, Lucian is not happy. Sources close to UMG say Drake has no clue what kind of storm he just kicked up. UMG isn't just disappointed, they're flat out furious that Drake, of all people, would turn on them after everything they've done to protect him. Let's not forget, UMG isn't just any label. It's the biggest record label on the planet. And just like Diddy's empire took a nosedive after going head-to-head with alcohol giant Diageo, folks are now saying Drake might be setting himself up for the same downfall by coming at UMG. But here's the twist. Some insiders say UMG actually used those tactics to boost Drake's music too. So now that he's turning around and calling them out for what could sound like a Ryko-level scheme, yeah, they're not about to let that slide. Word is, UMG's about to clap back hard. Sources are saying revenge is already cooking, and if Drake's not careful, he could watch his whole empire start crumbling, just like Diddy's. So what do you think? Did Drake just make the biggest mistake of his career going up against UMG? And do you believe they'll come for him like they did others who crossed the line? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button, share this with your crew, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Catch you in the next one.